Containers are potentially problematical because they inherently have held something which has previously been toxic. It is essential, therefore, that the producer of that waste stream triple rinses the container, and there is plenty of guidance and much training being given across the industry. And I think the evidence that we see is that the farming community have embraced that and are making a good job of it. That's incredibly important to us because we don't have a hazardous waste licence here. So any container that comes here has to be clean, otherwise we cannot accept it. However, to clean some containers is actually quite difficult.
The difficulty with containers like this is that there's a broad shoulder here which is difficult to wash out, so especially with the opening here being on one side, and also the old foil that's around here often gets contaminated as well, so we can't send them, and farmers cannot clean this out properly.
The legislation requires that pesticide containers have a label securely fitted to them so that the label does not fall off easily, so that the farmer can always read the instructions and therefore use the product according to its approval. It also requires that the seal at the top of the container, at the cap, is secure so that if the container falls over, none of the contents spill out. However, both of those security mechanisms create a problem in recycling because they are separate waste streams, and to separate them you've got to take some effort to do it. We signed the Waste Directive in 1975, so the fact that it's taken nearly 30 years to be enacted on farms is a little strange, but the guidance that's given with regard to the design of the pesticide container was last rewritten 20 years ago and was written to take account of the circumstances we faced at that stage, not the circumstances we face today. The perfect container for us is one which is easily washed and drains out well. It has a label which doesn't easily fall off but can be pulled off. It's a container which doesn't have a foil seal, which leaves a residue around the top and gives us the separate waste stream that I've talked about. And a container which is made of a single polymer, so the cap, the handle and the label and the container itself are all made of the same type of plastic, so it can go into a single waste stream. And then to put the icing on the cake, the recycling logo on the container, which identifies what that polymer is and the waste stream that it should go into. I think if we can put all that together on one single container, we have the ultimate for recycling.
From BASF's point of view, we're aware that there is various packaging legislation within the industry. From the company angle, we want to make sure that growers, advisors, spray operators have the latest technology to make their life easier on farm and make the efficiency on farms improved. The new packaging concept from BASF is a real innovation for the industry. If you take it from the top, the new pack, there's no foil seals, which is one problem we know exists within the marketplace. The second innovation around the new pack is the optimized design. The central opening means that to actually pour the product out of the can, it's easier and quicker, it's more efficient. The central opening means the glugging is reduced in comparison to standard ag can packaging. And if we then take it to one of the final steps from the spray operator's perspective, the central opening means it's a lot easier to rinse the container and a lot quicker to rinse the container. So as a whole package in innovation, the time that the operator needs to spend is reduced considerably, somewhere around a 25% time saving versus existing packaging. The benefit from the recycler is that potentially they can take the new packaging and place it all into the one recycling pot. They don't have to separate the various parts, for example paper from the label. They can put the total solution into the one recycling place. The new packaging concept from BASF contains approximately 25% less plastic than existing AgChem containers within the industry. We feel that meets environmental needs and also recycling challenges from in the marketplace. It also contributes to BASF's corporate responsibility to meet sustainable needs within the industry.
Well, I think it's a waste of resources. I think other farmers ought to buy into the concept of actually recycling their waste, you know, reusing the polymer again, putting it into maybe another container or another product that we can use again in the future. So, you know, resources are scarce, so I think it's good for the whole industry to embrace that.
We've been delighted to be invited by BASF to look at a prototype of a container that they've been developing in response to the issues that we've raised. And this container, I believe, is almost there for what we're looking for. We're talking about the fineries now of what we require on this container, but in terms of shape, polymer, label design and the elimination of the foil cap, this container has it.
BASF, the chemical company.